term moksha used a lot, many different connotations. Is there an actual, I wouldn't say pure definition, but an absolute definition of moksha?
In different contexts, it has different definitions. I gave the example the other day that in English the same thing happens. Like we have block. So block means like what kids play with. A block means the distance from one corner to the next. Block means an obstacle. A block means a maneuver in American football to keep the other team from making progress. A block means where you put your neck when they're going to cut your head off. So, Tower of London and all that. So block has different meanings, and you have to get the right meaning according to the context. So similarly, moksha may have different meanings. Sometimes it just means freedom, get somebody free from something. For the impersonalists, moksha means merging into the impersonal Brahmajyoti. That's the moksha that they want. Freedom from material existence and merging into the existence of the Lord. But for the devotees, moksha hitvan yatarupam, swarupena vyavastati. Moksha or mukti means hitvan yatarupam, giving up this false form, the gross material body and the subtle material mind. Hitva, leaving those behind. Anyatarupam, those other forms, those material forms. And swarupena vyavastati, being situated in one's real form. Jiver Swarupaya Krishna Nityadas. The real form is the form of the servant of Krishna. Real moksha means to get out of this false identity, false ego, false material body and mind, and to resume one's eternal position as a servant of Krishna. Another question? Okay, well,
I'm wondering, why is it that the Vrajavasis didn't speak about that pastime for?
you want to know also.
Yeah.
Why it wasn't discussed. That becomes the next chapter. So the summary is that these boys didn't come back to Vrindavan for a whole year because they were kidnapped. They were kidnapped by Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma stole all the cows, calves, and cowherd boys. And so for 1 year they were incommunicado. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You mentioned that there has to be a qualification from a speaker and from a hearer. I wonder, what should be this qualification when you hear?
What's the qualification for hearing? One should be very eager to know. And that's described by, one should be submissive also. Eager to hear, and one should be submissive to the speaker. Otherwise, I'm very eager to hear what you say so that I can knock it down. I'm listening very carefully to your every word, and I'm thinking of what my arguments are going to be. Very often we listen to people that way. I'm listening, but my listening is, what's wrong, where I can catch you, where there's a mistake, where you blow it, and I can smash you. or where I'll say, at least to myself, nah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's one kind of hearing. Critical, sort of oppositional hearing, or arrogant hearing. You know, I'll listen, but I already know the story. I really don't, you're not really going to tell me anything new, but just to be polite, I'll sit here and listen. Well, that kind of hearing is not going to be effective. What Prabhupada called submissive oral reception. One has to hear with confidence. Yes, otherwise the hearing will not be, won't have the same result. One should approach tad vijnanartam sadguru, one should approach the bona fide person, Shrotriya, who's heard from the authorities, who has faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevena upadekshanti. Take him. One should approach in the pranipati with a mood of surrender, and pariprashnena with questions, and sevaya with service. Upadekshanti, take him, and it will be fine. And it will be fine. Oh. Of course, the spiritual master receives the special surrender of the disciple. But when we hear Krishna Katha, we should hear from those who deserve our confidence. And then we should hear in a submissive mood, or a mood of honor for the subject matter, respect for the person. We find the example in the Bhagavatam. How the sages of Naimisharanya heard from Sutta Goswami. They gave their reasons. Yes, we think that you're the right person to hear from. And so we're eager to hear from you. We've been doing these ritualistic ceremonies, sitting by the sacrificial fire, and we're just getting soot on our faces. That's really all the only benefit that we're getting here. So we're very doubtful about the outcome of things, the way it's going. But because you've come here, we're eager to hear from you about Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Katha. So with that mood of eagerness to know, and with regard for the speaker, they sat to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj. First thing is he gave up his material position. When he was sitting in his palace, Sukadeva Goswami didn't go there. Ruling over everything, king of the world. But when he voluntarily gave up his royal position to sit on the bank of the Ganges and hear about Krishna, or to find out what he should do, then Sukadeva Goswami came and spoke to him. The hearing will be more effective if we're willing to change. If our business, there are many people that go to hear Krishna Katha to reinforce the status quo. They want reinforcement for their family attachment, for their spirit of material enjoyment. And they want a little piety rubbed on it, a little punya, a little gloss, maybe a little flattery. Yes, you're doing the right thing. We're all righteous men. Then it's nice for them. The speaker will speak very nicely. He'll sing songs and quote familiar sayings. And people will go home satisfied, yes, we heard a very nice Krishna Katha. But there'll be no change in their hearts. They'll remain materially attached. And the speaker will not discourage them. So it's a good combination. Prabhupada calls it the cheaters and the cheated. So better to hear when one is willing to find out one's faults, one's shortcomings. Parikshit Maharaj, not Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhisthira Maharaj. This Narad Muni is coming. Yudhisthira Maharaj is presenting himself. I'm just a fallen householder. Please enlighten me what to do. That means he's looking for change. How to get free from material attachment. Jnana Vairagya Yukta. How to develop knowledge. Real knowledge means that along with knowledge there'll come vairagya, detachment. By knowledge one doesn't become more involved in trying to enjoy this material world. There are those who are inquisitive that way. What can I do to increase my ability to exploit the resources of the material world? Those are the conferences that are well attended. The City of London will have so many conferences about how to increase your profits, to boost the bottom line, how to be more effective in your performance in your business, how to make more money. And for such conferences, people will pay thousands of dollars to attend. And they'll hear with rapt attention and full regard for the speaker, because they're very serious about increasing their material enjoyment. Or they'll attend self-help seminars where they can find out how they can be more effective in how they can get more out of their relationships with people, how their sexual life can be more satisfying.